Welcome back. I've been working a section of stream that's literally walking distance from my house in southeast Denver. Um, so you can see it's a beautiful little urban stream, and there's an old culvert running into the stream, and it's busted on both sides, and each side of the culvert acts as a riffle basically, and will catch sediment. And I'm going to be working those. I'm also going to work inside of the culvert itself. I'll be using a hand dredge. I don't have infinite power to suck material off the base, so I'm pre-cleaning the part that I want to work with my hands, just taking the bigger rocks out and throwing them into a pile. My dredge is a simple gold buddy. It's just a 2-inch tube, nothing fancy. I actually adapted it. I made what I called a gooseneck dredge using two 45-degree couplings. It actually enables me to hold the material better in the dredge rather than losing a bunch of material at the front as I rush to throw it into the bucket. As you can see up in the link up here, I made a video on this. I'm surprised I've never seen it before. I don't think anybody's done it, but works great for kind of holding the material in before you're ready to dump it. The creek bed here is hard. I think it's actually concrete. I think they went in here for flood control and turned the bed of the creek into concrete. Though right against the culvert, I've been able to dig fairly deep against it and still get sediment. I don't know how deep it goes. Now, gold is going to tend to accumulate right in front of that. It's going to drop out right in front of that culvert there. So I've been finding gold everywhere in front of that culvert, but I don't know if it gets better as I go deeper. I don't know if I hit the bottom yet either, but I'm exploring the bottom with this dredge. I did a lot of sucking today, and yeah, we'll see. I'm sure I'll be back. It's such a good spot, but yeah, just not glamorous. Just kind of working back and forth, trying to get all the loose gravel out of that area in front of the culvert. So I noticed that the culvert itself, it's not in the stream flow, it's beside it, but the thing was full of sediment. Couldn't really see much in there. I mean, we had a thick, some sand, some cobble. You can imagine that as turbulent water flows over the broken culvert, that some of it will swirl and go into the culvert itself. So at least it's worth a test pan. So that's what I did. Few colors in there. When you're in an urban creek like this, and you take one pan and get 5 or 6 good colors, and really it wasn't even an interesting part of the culvert. It was just a random scoop of sand in there. I figured, man, this is probably a pretty rich place. So I kept digging. There's some interesting things inside that culvert. Some rocks and actually some thick clay layers. I don't know exactly what that means. It's not necessarily hard pan clay. It's more goopy clay, but I don't know. Maybe it picks up gold, maybe it doesn't.
A few colors in there. Not a bad one for this stream. There it is.
The culvert was definitely looking promising. I'm not sure about the black clay, the gravel and sand in there looked a little more perspective. So I went back in with a hand dredge to kind of move more material, get it as deep as I could, and yeah, just worked it. This area was looking so good, I just couldn't resist a test pan before wrapping up. So I wouldn't call them concentrates; they're just whatever I sucked out of the dredge. But I decided to take a test pan, and you'll see, looks pretty good.
Some nice colors in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun painting this. He's out. Let's get out of here. Already see some nice chunks in there without panning it. This is 200 mesh. This guy's bigger than 200 mesh. It must have slipped through. Whole spectrum of little colors there. Probably down to 400 mesh. Really tiny.
After a 2-minute drive back to the house, I cleaned out my bucket. Had about a third of a bucket, and used my high banker actually as a clean out tool. But I've got a Dream Mat micro mat in there to catch the finer stuff, and I run it at fairly low speed. I'm not trying to push huge amount of material through there. Might be probably better to have a dedicated cleanup mat, but I actually have tested it, and I actually have like panned out the tailings from my high banker after one of these cleanouts, and I think I had a 99% recovery rate, so I'm comfortable with that. So when I do my cleanup, I like to classify into 3 screens. I use a 20 mesh, 50 mesh, and 100 mesh. I stack those up and put them in a pan. So I've got 20 mesh plus 20 plus 50 plus 100, and then anything smaller than 100 mesh goes into the pan at the bottom. There definitely is 200 mesh and smaller gold in here. Some really small gold that I've recovered. So I just pan them. I pan and get what I can see, and on the finer stuff, I actually run it through my blue bowl concentrator just to see if I've missed anything.
Nice line of colors there. Remember this stuff either went through the 100 mesh or slipped on the side of the pan. So it's small stuff, but there's a lot of it. Oh yeah. 50 to 100 colors. All right, I'm I'm still going to run this through the blue bowl, but check it out. Looking pretty nice. Pretty promising. And this is just the small stuff. I know I saw some chunkers. Wouldn't call them pickers, but I'll call them chunkers. Suck these guys up and move on to the 100 mesh. Yeah, buddy. I can see them in there already. Didn't even paint it. I see a lot of colors in there. So this is the 100 mesh. Let's knock this down a little bit. So much magnetic material. Looking good. Look at that. Lots of colors, at least 10 or 20 colors. Nice one colors. Oh yeah, close. Yeah, these are cleaning off real nice. Oh yeah. About 50 colors in there. Some bigger than the others. All right, let's take a look. Woohoo! Check it out. Look at those. Nice. Let's get these cleaned up. All right, last, probably, well, unless I have a picker in the 20 mesh, the 50 mesh is probably the last that we're gonna, I suspect we're gonna see at least several pickers, not pickers, but, you know, bigger chunks in here. Oh yeah, see a nice one right away. Oh baby. There it is. See at least 5 or 6 colors in the 50 mesh. Look at that bad boy. For this stream, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's gonna weigh anything, but it's gonna be fun. All right. One downside, pretty crazy, 1 minute. No, it's natural, but break dust and crap like that. When you get all the lights, you'll see them. Here, there. That's nice, fat chunk of gold. See, more touches there too. We got these 5. 50 these. 50 mesh pretty rare for me. A little small piece that wants to escape and get it first. Show you these big fat ones. All right. Here you go, guys. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least. Beautiful, beautiful gold. It's going to be fun to put this under the microscope. Definitely see a couple chunks, but we did a pretty good job of panning that gold out. Turn the vortex up. No wonder there's a big pile. My legs weren't straight. Shoot, hope I didn't lose any gold. Should be okay. The gold is surprisingly robust to at least the bigger pieces. It's hard to screw it up. But the little pieces, it's got to be level. Definitely got some small pieces. Nothing like we had in the pan. So that's good. Right at the end, I like to squirt the last of the dirt away and turn it on one last time. Hopefully that gold, any little stray pieces of gold just sit there on the outside. You can see a little piece of wire gold. The wire gold doesn't quite act like a gold BB. It can kind of act like a smaller rock. It can be challenging to get the wire gold, from what I've seen. Mostly fly poop at this point, but I'm going to snuffer up the material in the middle. For one, it's going to make a problem if the pebbles aren't. You want to get rid of the foreign material, and I'll just throw it into a tailings pile for later consideration. Got some stuff I'm running through a rock tumbler. A few more specks in there. All right, time to do the final clean out. Oh, look at that gold. Oh, yes. Look at that gold. Nice. I like to do one little final cleanup where I try to separate the junk out. But I don't think we have too much junk. Beautiful. Man, I think I may just snuffer this back up and dry it out.
This is the first prospecting trip I've had where I've actually been able to weigh the material. I know that 0.013 grams is not exactly exciting, but I'm on the leaderboard, and for 30 minutes of work, that's not too bad. I made about $1.50. So I've got a little microscope, and I put my 5 biggest pieces on there, and really each of the 5 pieces is about the same as the biggest piece I've ever found before. So about a millimeter in diameter, not huge, but they make a little noise when they drop into the scale. So I'm pretty pumped. It was a great day. Probably had hundreds of pieces, most of them too small to recover, but what a blast. I really like my spot. I think I'm going to go clean out that spot. I need to go set up my high banker and do some excavation. So going to be fun.